Provo Beast here doing another install today. Today we're working on a 2010 Dodge Charger installing a backup camera. For this install, we're going to go ahead and pull out this aftermarket radio by essentially just pulling off the dash bezel, which is held on with clips all around. Once that's out, there's 4 screws on the radio and that comes on out. Now if you already have an aftermarket radio installed, you should already know how to pull out the aftermarket radio. If you don't, you can actually check out our aftermarket radio install, which actually shows you how to disassemble the dash. We're going to show you how to run all the wiring to the back, install the video camera on the license plate mounts, all the wiring needed for the trigger wire and power and ground, and reinstallation. Let's go ahead and get started. In this install, we're going to show you how to install a license plate camera. Essentially, it's one of those that bolts onto the factory license plate mounting location. This kit comes with the camera itself, comes with a power cable for the camera, and your video cable, which takes the video signal from the camera all the way to your aftermarket radio or aftermarket screen, or really any source that accepts an RCA composite input. So we have the radio out, our aftermarket radio, and we ran our backup camera video wire here. It's this RCA that came with the camera kit. Now this RCA, if you haven't seen my backup camera's explained video, go ahead and do so. It'll make this a lot more clear for you. But essentially, this red wire that hangs off our video wire, this plugs into our radio's purple and white wire, where essentially this becomes the trigger wire of the radio. So the radio needs to know when we're in reverse. And so essentially, this wire runs parallel with this video wire all the way to the other end. That will tap into your reverse light. So we got that connection made. We're going to plug this into the reverse camera input on the back of the radio on our Pioneer. It happens to be brown. We're going to connect that and then get the radio back reinstalled in the dash. Just ran that down to the kick panel area here. It's a little bit dark. We'll show you once we get a little bit better light where that goes. But we're going to begin running that all the way across here and then all the way back to the rear bumper area. Okay, we've made our connections here. At this point, we're good to go to get the radio back in. Okay, so we ran our backup camera cable. We popped this panel down, just the knee buster there. It's held on with clips along the top, and there's just 2 screws at the bottom. Once that's out of the way, it actually just comes on down. We put it there just to give us a little bit more space. And then we ran our backup camera wire from that dash pocket down here, up and along. Now, of course, you can actually, tuck it up underneath. Then out from underneath, went back up. We just tucked it up underneath the seat. Now here as well, as you can see, we kind of came up there, tucked it up underneath here, and we pulled the back apart just a little bit, pulled this cover off so we can run along the factory wiring. And we're at this point. Now this is the video wire from all the way up front. Essentially it's going to carry the signal from our camera to our radio. Now if you pull this bone back, you're going to notice there's a grommet here which we popped out. We're going to run the cable through that grommet, and that gives us bumper access where we are going to run it out through this little license plate hole and then mount it right there. Now what we've done here is actually just got a hanger and started fishing it up through a little access hole in the bumper. And back here, since we popped that grommet out, we pulled the other end of that hanger through. And what we're going to do is fish our video wire and our power wire through this cavity area, allowing us to connect it right to the camera through this factory grommet. Alright, so we went ahead and fished those wires through that hole there. Remember, we have our power wire, which we showed you on the bench. That connects into the red plug, and we're going to tap into power and ground for that. We ran it up through that hole through the grommet as well. Here's our video wire that we pulled through that grommet. That connects into the yellow plug. And remember this red lead that comes out at the other end, we plugged into the purple white wire on the back of the radio. Well, we got to run this back in the car so this taps into the actual reverse light, because this needs to see power only when we're in reverse, which is why the radio needs that signal in order to know when you're backing up to automatically trigger over to the reverse gear signal. So that allows you to automatically switch back and forth just with the gear shifter. That's why we've run that there. It was obviously way too short, so we had some green wire hanging around, and I soldered it and heat shrinked on there just to extend that, and that runs up through that grommet as well. So I'm started taping this up. What this is going to do is now go back into the bumper, and then this is going to mount with the license plate there on the post. All right, so we pulled everything through the grommet there. We just put a little slit in the grommet so it wouldn't get pinched, but it's still sealed around the wire. Our green wire, which is, remember, the trigger, we located that this white and very light green wire is your trigger wire, so I stripped it back without cutting it and just soldered it onto it, and I'll tape that up. And then we used an ADA circuit, and this pin, the pin that says ignition here, that kind of has 3 different sockets. If you set the fuse in this position, in the right side position, it's on ignition. Now we've done this, and this is called an ADA circuit. And what this is, it allows us to safely tap into that circuit without disrupting the primary circuit there. And we ran that, and we soldered on, and we did the positive of the power wire on our camera to that. So the camera is on only when the key is on, and then the ground, put a ring terminal and put it on that grounding location. And then we'll make it so this top lid can still shut. At this point, with those 3 connections made, we can mount our license plate camera back on to these posts and get this finished up. All right, got the camera all mounted there. Got the carpet all back in. Get the cover back on. At this point, let's do a test. All right, so let's go and do a final test here. Put it in reverse. There we go. That's about it. If you have any questions on this backup camera install, just go and post a comment below. Thanks guys for watching the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.